Have you ever had that feeling, that sudden, almost electric jolt? That moment when a whole tangle of thoughts just snaps into place. It's not really like learning something brand new. It feels more like a piece of a puzzle you didn't even realize was missing suddenly shows up.
And you finally get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was maybe blurry or confusing becomes crystal clear. Almost like it was right there all along, hiding in plain sight.
It's definitely more profound than just a simple aha
Yeah.
moment, isn't it? It feels like a real shift in how you see things.
Absolutely. And, well, that feeling, that deep sense of recognition, that's exactly what we're diving into today. It's called the O-moment framework. We're going to explore this really powerful but often sort of unnamed thing that happens in our minds.
Right, and how it connects to so much.
Totally. From, personal breakthroughs to getting AI models aligned properly, even big business strategy decisions. So our mission today is to unpack how it works, look at the science behind it, and figure out why this O signal is maybe way more valuable than the usual metrics people track.
Yeah, think about a time maybe you were stuck on a problem, like a product launch that just wasn't landing, or some habit you couldn't shake.
This framework is all about finding that moment, that clarity. So, yeah, let's dig in.
What's really fascinating to me is just how universal that feeling is. This framework really nails it by calling the O moment a kind of pinnacle of cognition.
Right.
Because it's not usually about getting totally new information dropped on you. It's more about suddenly seeing what was always there, present, but somehow invisible before.
It's that retrospective clarity, like looking back and it making sense now.
Exactly. What was subconscious, maybe just a feeling or a scattered set of observations, finally breaks through into conscious understanding.
Oh, that's what it was. That phrase itself, it's so specific. It really captures that past tense discovery idea, doesn't it?
It really does. It implies the pattern or the truth. It already existed.
Yeah.
You just couldn't perceive it until that exact instant.
Yeah, the blind spot was back then. The clarity is right now. It's almost like the framework says we're just the mirror reflecting what was already known, not the light source itself.
And that reflection, that act of recognition, that's precisely why the O is so effective. One of its sort of core pillars is what it calls recognition, not teaching.
Okay, what does that mean exactly?
Well, it flips the script. Instead of someone telling you something, making you feel taught at, it sets it up so you discover it yourself.
Right.
And that inherently builds trust.
Right. It's not like saying, hey, you're wrong. Look at this better data.
No. It's much more like, look, you had all these pieces already. We just helped rearrange them so the picture popped out for you.
Which leads straight into that idea of emotional authenticity, I think. Because when someone genuinely says, oh, you can't really fake that, it's involuntary.
It's totally guttural, yeah. Almost pre-verbal. It's the sound of cognitive dissonance just dissolving.
Like your brain's been wrestling with stuff that doesn't quite add up.
And then click. It all makes sense. And because it's such a genuine resolution, it feels way more believable, more impactful than someone just claiming they had a breakthrough or some big transformation.
Those words can feel a bit forced sometimes.
They can, but the O is raw. And that visceral feeling, well, the brain actually rewards it. It's tied to that sudden drop in cognitive dissonance we mentioned.
Okay.
When that conflict resolves, your brain releases a burst of dopamine. That's literally why it feels good to finally get something complex.
Ah, so it's a chemical reward for sense-making.
Precisely. And this brings us to another pillar, the shared success model. When you help someone reach an O moment, both of you win. There's no manipulation.
Right. It's not about convincing them of something.
No, it's about facilitating genuine recognition. So it perfectly aligns everyone around that moment of clarity, that getting it.
And I have to say, the emphasis, the capitalization in, oh, that's what it was, it really hammers home that specificity.
It does. It mimics how people actually sound when that intense recognition hits. It's not just a word. It's like capturing the feeling itself.
Okay, so it feels right. It builds trust. But what's actually happening in the brain? What's the science behind that click?
Yeah, the science is pretty compelling. Neurologically speaking, that O moment is really linked to how our brain handles conflict and sorts information.
Okay.
So when you're confused or facing something contradictory, a part of your brain called the Anterior Cingulate Cortex, ACC, it gets really active. It's signaling conflict, dissonance.
Like an internal alarm bell.
Sort of, yeah. And then your prefrontal cortex kicks in, trying to resolve it, make sense of things. The O moment seems to be when a jumbled set of inputs, like a tricky problem or a pattern you couldn't quite see, suddenly clicks into a coherent picture.
And the alarm bell goes quiet.
Exactly. That conflict signal drops sharply. And that's when you get that little but significant dopamine burst. It's the brain's reward system saying, nice job figuring that out.
So it's literally rewarding us for achieving clarity. That makes sense. It's a powerful motivation to understand things.
Definitely. And we can also think about this using a concept from information theory, entropy.
Okay, entropy.
Yeah.
Like disorder, uncertainty.
So it's like, think of entropy as a measure of uncertainty. Before you have that oh moment, your mind is often in a state of high entropy. Like, imagine your desk just covered in scattered papers, random notes, maybe coffee cups.
Chaos.
Total chaos. You know the information's probably there, but you can't make sense of it. Lots of uncertainty, tons of possibilities swirling around, high cognitive load.
And then, boom, the O hits.
Right. And after that oh moment, that chaotic mental state just snaps into order.
Yeah.
It's like all those scattered papers instantly arrange themselves into neat, logical piles, revealing the underlying structure.
Wow.
One explanation, one pattern becomes incredibly clear, and all that uncertainty just collapses practically down to zero. So you get this massive, sudden drop in cognitive load.
That was like relief almost.
Yeah.
Effortless understanding.
Yeah, and it's like the world just simplified for you in that instant, which connects really nicely to Gestalt psychology, actually.
How so?
Well, there's the law of pregnance, or simplicity. It basically says our minds naturally try to perceive reality in the simplest, most stable form possible.
Okay.
The O moment framework essentially helps uncover that simple underlying form that was kind of hidden inside the complexity all along.
Okay, this is where it gets really practical, right? The applications. Because we've all felt this personally.
Oh, absolutely. Think about those personal blind spots. Like you finally realize, oh, that's why I crash energy-wise every afternoon. It's not hunger, it's decision fatigue from all those morning meetings.
Right. Or a habit you keep repeating, or a recurring frustration. The O can suddenly show you the hidden pattern that was driving it.
It's also hugely relevant in tech, especially, like we mentioned, with AI alignment.
How does it apply there?
Well, imagine you're trying to fine-tune an AI model. Get it to behave just right. You might struggle and then suddenly have that moment. Oh, that's the boundary I need to set to stop it going off topic. Or maybe, oh, that's the subtle token drift in these really long conversations that's messing up the output.
Ah, so the O flags the error, the point of confusion for the model.
Exactly. It turns those errors or weird behaviors into specific trainable insights. It helps the AI refine its own sort of understanding and become more reliable.
And in business decisions, I mean, it feels like it could cut through so much noise.
Like a laser, yeah. Think back to that struggling product launch example. You could be drowning in sales data, marketing reports, customer feedback, just feeling lost.
In there.
Right, and then suddenly it hits you. Oh, that's why sales are flat, and we're accidentally marketing to the wrong group, not the people who actually need what we solve.
Or maybe, oh, that's the real churn signal we missed in those net promoter scores. It's not the product itself, it's how terrible our onboarding process is.
Exactly. These oh moments are often what finally unlock those persistent, hairy problems that felt completely unsolvable before.
And it seems like it could apply even more broadly.
For sure. You can see it in social dynamics, like, oh, that's the echo chamber effect, stopping new ideas in our team meetings.
Or creative work.
Definitely. Oh, that's the underlying theme I keep recycling from childhood. It's shaping all my projects. Even on a huge scale, like understanding complex systems. Oh, that's the climate feedback loop we weren't fully accounting for and why things are accelerating.
Okay, so it's powerful, it's everywhere. How do we actually engineer these moments? How do we put it into practice?
Well, the framework proposes something called the O-Flywheel. It's basically a continuous cycle designed to deliberately create that recognition.
A flywheel. Okay, what are the steps?
First step is observe, or as the framework puts it, gather the dissonance.
Gather the dissonance, meaning...
It means actively collecting all those scattered pieces. The data points that don't fit, the contradictions, the user frustrations, anything that just feels off or doesn't quite make sense to the person you're trying to help.
So for our product launch example, this would be grabbing all the conflicting feedback, the weird conversion rates, the pages people bounce off immediately, all the signs something's not right.
Exactly. You're basically capturing that high entropy state we talked about.
Yeah.
Collecting the chaos.
Okay, got the chaos. What's next?
Next comes the really crucial intellectual work, reframe, or Identify the blind spot.
Find the blind spot.
Yeah. This is where you sift through that chaos to find the single, simple pattern that connects all those scattered dots. You're looking for that invisible bottleneck or maybe an unspoken assumption that everyone's making.
The one thing that if you saw it would make everything else click into place.
Precisely. The framework talks about using techniques like deep pattern mapping. It's like creating a unique cognitive blueprint of this situation to pinpoint exactly where the understanding gap is.
So for the product launch, this might be realizing, the core message we're using actually attracts established companies, but it pushes away the startups we thought we were targeting.
Spot on. That's the blind spot identified. And then the final step is reveal. This is where you trigger the O.
Reveal.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you do that effectively?
You present that pattern you found, but you do it using retrospective language that centers on the user's experience and data.
Yeah.
The goal isn't to lecture them. It's to help them make the discovery.
Right. So instead of just saying, hey, you're targeting the wrong people, which sounds like criticism.
Exactly. That just puts people on the defensive. Instead, you might phrase it like, looking back at the early feedback and signups, it seems like our initial messaging really clicked more with these larger, established clients rather than the agile startups we originally set out to reach. Oh, that's what it was. Maybe our message inadvertently shifted who we were appealing to.
And you wait for their reaction.
You wait for their involuntary, oh. That reaction is the ultimate validation that you've hit the nail on the head. You've revealed the pattern correctly.
And that validation, that's how you measure if this is actually working.
Precisely. This framework isn't just philosophical. It has a really clear, measurable success metric. The recognition quotient, or RQ.
RQ. Okay, what's the target?
The target for really effective insight delivery is an RQ of less than or equal to 2.2 interactions. Meaning, if the person you're interacting with doesn't have that involuntary oh moment within, on average, about 2.2 focused interactions or exchanges about the issue.
You probably haven't hit the actual blind spot yet.
Exactly. You haven't framed it quite right. And this RQ, it's not some vanity metric like clicks or likes. It's tied directly to delivering genuine value and understanding.
Because the O itself is honest. You can't really fake that gut reaction.
You can't. That makes it an incorruptible signal. It tells you you've delivered something profoundly valuable, something that truly resonated.
It's like an internal compass pointing to, yep, that's it. This whole thing feels less like just a technique and more like a recognition engine.
That's a great way to put it. It dissolves that illusion that everything has to be novel or new. Often the biggest insights come from revealing truths that were hiding in plain sight all along.
So the pinnacle of understanding isn't just acquiring new facts.
It's reacquiring what was somehow already known but obscured. Seeing it fresh.
And this idea opens up some really powerful synergies, right? Especially when you start talking about cognitive amplification or strategic nudges.
Oh, definitely. For instance, when you combine this understanding with advanced analytics, maybe even AI, you can get some serious breakthroughs.
How does AI fit in?
Well, think of it like a master chef who has this huge spice rack, knows every ingredient, but also knows exactly how they interact to create the perfect flavor profile. AI, by leveraging things like that deep pattern mapping we mentioned, can start to understand cause and effect within a complex situation. It wouldn't just know what insight might be relevant, but potentially when revealing it would land perfectly for maximum impact.
Like having a map of someone's mental landscape or the hidden dynamics of a problem?
Kind of like that, yeah. It helps identify the precise leverage point for that O moment.
So let's maybe walk through a few specific examples of how these O moments, once triggered, really amplify things, how they lead to action.
Sure. Let's start with incisive communication.
Okay.
Instead of just dumping data on people, which often leads to overwhelm, engineering communication for the O moment means you focus on delivering maximum insight with minimum cognitive load.
So less is more if it's the right less.
Exactly. Imagine explaining a complex financial report. Instead of just reading out numbers, you highlight one specific trend connecting costs and delayed payments. And suddenly the client goes, oh, that's where the margin dipped last quarter. It wasn't just spending, it was those specific late payments.
You cut straight to the core insight effortlessly for them.
Right. Then there's empowerment.
How does the O foster that?
Well, when leaders or coaches focus on facilitating these O moments, rather than just giving answers, it enables teams and individuals to actually grow. They learn to see the patterns themselves.
It's like teaching them how to fish, but maybe more specifically showing them how to spot the best fishing spots on their own map.
Perfect analogy. Instead of giving the answer to this problem, you guide them to discover the underlying principle themselves. That leads to deeper understanding, real ownership.
So our product team might realize on their own, oh, that's the specific feature combo customers were implicitly asking for, not the shiny thing we thought they wanted.
Exactly. Which leads to better decisions down the line without needing constant hand-holding. And crucially, this approach fosters human-AI harmony.
Okay, tell me more about that. It sounds important.
It really is. It positions AI not as something that replaces human thinking, but as a thinking partner.
Amplifying us, not replacing us.
Precisely. AI can analyze massive data sets, spot subtle patterns humans might easily miss, patterns that can then trigger our O moments,
So AI finds the anomaly, the weird correlation.
and presents it in a way that helps us connect the dots. Imagine AI flagging a tiny shift in online sentiment that leads you to an O about a completely new market opportunity you would have otherwise ignored. It makes us, in a sense, superhuman in our judgment.
That's a powerful combination.
It also cultivates learning hunger. Experiencing an O moment isn't just satisfying because it solves a problem.
It sparks something else.
Yeah, it often sparks a deeper curiosity, that genuine feeling of, wow, what else am I missing? It becomes like a compass, always pointing you towards new potential discoveries.
Yeah.
The world kind of opens up because asking the right questions reveals new possibilities.
So you don't just solve one problem, you get better at finding and solving future ones.
You become more attuned to seeing the underlying patterns. And finally, there's something the framework calls montage moments.
Montage moments, like in a movie.
Kind of. It describes how hitting a key O moment can help a situation, whether it's your personal life or a complex business problem, suddenly reorganize itself rapidly.
Instead of slow, grinding progress.
Right. Instead of plodding through endless iterations, that moment of clarity hits, hidden connections suddenly fire, previously unseen pathways become obvious, and a clear path forward just materializes, like things falling into place quickly.
So for our struggling product launch, the O moment might shift the team from confused paralysis to suddenly having a clear, actionable roadmap, seeing the product's future with real clarity.
Exactly. It's a profound acceleration and amplification of understanding and action.
Wow. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, it really feels like focusing on these O moments is about more than just insight. It's about building trust, driving real action.
And fundamentally about recognizing what was already there, just hidden.
Yeah.
It signifies true understanding.
It's definitely a powerful system for creating genuine value, moving beyond just surface-level novelty.
It really is a shift, moving from constantly chasing the new to recognizing the deeper pre-existing truths.
So for everyone listening, as you go about your week, maybe take a moment to consider what personal or professional blind spots might you be navigating right now. Could be something like that product launch or just a recurring niggle in your own life.
Yeah, what might be that simple underlying pattern just waiting beneath the surface ready for your own, oh, that's what it was moment.
And perhaps think about how you might actively try to engineer these moments of recognition, not just for yourself, but in how you communicate and collaborate with others, helping them find their own clarity too.